This is Podcasting Seeds, a podcasting guide for faith leaders and churches. You're listening to the narrated articles from my email newsletter of the same name. I'm David Kelso. Today is July 24th, 2023. Death to killing your filler word habit. So I was thinking I would do a write-up on filler words and how they can be distracting, and how if you keep saying "and" when you could pause and just creates a funny run-on sentence, and rather than ending a thought, moving on to the next one, people can get lost in their own stream of consciousness, and that's not always a bad thing though. But the audio medium is better suited for shorter sentences, which is the opposite of written text, Today we're talking about filler words and how to stop using them as much. Reducing your filler words will not only make you a better podcaster, but a better conversationalist and preacher. The dreaded Filler words are words or sounds we say as a natural way of processing. And and so are among the most common. If you've ever edited your own audio recording, you're painfully aware of how many filler words you use as a crutch. I often catch myself saying, rather than taking the time to explain the thing I'm trying to explain. Studies found people who use less filler words came across as more credible. On the flip side, ums can help you appear more honest, like you haven't rehearsed the lie before. In a podcast, if an episode is completely void of an or an ah, it can feel robotic and unauthentic. Rather than going away with filler words, we really need to strike a balance. Putting to bed. Good news. You can reduce your filler words. Like any habit, you can learn, unlearn, and hack your way to improvement. First, you have to observe how often you actually say your filler word. It's probably more than you think. Try doing one of these things every time you say your filler word. The goal is to pair a physical activity with the mental one. Snap your wrist with a rubber band. Pinch your leg. Tap the top of your head. Throw a crumpled piece of paper toward a bin. Transfer a paperclip from one cup to another. Tap your heels together twice, like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. Use American Sign Language to sign the word Mark a tally in a notebook. Do a squat. Scream as loud as possible. Unreasonable? Yes, but it would be funny. Now that you have observed, it's time to replace the filler word. But what to replace it with? Silence. It's more than okay to collect your thoughts, take a breath, and then speak. Not to mention, silence is easier and faster to edit in post-production. Enter the delete silence effect. Finally, now that we've observed and replaced, it's time to slow down how fast you talk or wait a few seconds before you respond. I know people who have gone a week or so counting to 5 in their head before they respond to people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it's awkward at first, but it helped them to learn to process first and then speak. So, your homework this week, pick one way from the list above to be conscious of your filler words. I'm personally going to have a pocket full of paper and try it for the next week. Whether I'm recording or having a conversation, every time I use my filler word, and such, or I'm going to toss a piece of paper. Pick a time frame that works for you, and then check in with me when you're done. I'd love to know how many filler words you used. If you'd like more coaching like this, plus episode ideas, Jesus-centered podcast recs, and industry news actually relevant to faith leaders like you, then sign up for my email newsletter, Podcasting Seeds. Get all of that a week ahead of time, including a private podcast feed for narrations like this. My goal is to help you make Christ known and cultivate the spiritual development of your local community with podcasts. Sign up today and get my free guide to being a great podcast guest along with some other goodies. Link in the show notes. Thanks for listening.